I mentioned we're getting new clues from the video in which the militants beheaded 21 Egyptian Christians in Libya, right? Catherine Herridge has more on that in Washington. What are you learning about that, Catherine?
Well, Shep, the video was released by the Al Hayat Media Group, which is the designated mouthpiece for the leader of ISIS in Iraq and Syria, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. And the video could have been released through other outlets, but the fact it came from Baghdadi's group suggests it did have their blessing. Nothing comes out of the ISIS media machine without going through the chain of command.
Anything these propaganda organs puts out, this is not but happenstance. This is all done by design, by ISIS, by these organizations. So if it has that seal of approval, and this video did, then that shows that, in fact, this was something that was directed from the upper echelon of ISIS.
Plus, that video is really like a replay of what we saw with the Jordanian pilot when he was burned to death. By the time that video was posted by Al Hayat, the pilot had been dead for nearly a month. And it's the same kind of media rollout we're now seeing with the Egyptian Coptic Christians. The ISIS English language online magazine known as Dabiq published a story about the Egyptians and the justification for their killings 3 days before the video was posted on the web. You see the photos here. And this shows that even the execution of the Egyptian Christians was part of an ISIS media campaign, Shepard.
You know what seems to be the overriding thing that's happening here is, first they wanted everybody to travel to go fight in this thing, and now they're saying you can just stay home. Just blow up anything you want. So or burn anybody or murder anybody and put an ISIS stamp on it, and we'll love you for a long time. It feels like this is something we're going to have to deal with for a long time, and maybe something we should stop collectively freaking out about, because it doesn't help.
Well, one of the issues that's really come to the fore with these videos, and you're kind of touching on it, this idea that you can launch an attack on their behalf by staying in place. When you look at the targets of these videos, what you see is that it's a consistent pattern. It's like the military, it's police, or it's Christians and Jews, those who are singled out for their faith. So the idea that ISIS wants you to stay in place is not entirely a new idea. We've seen it now happening in Europe. The question is whether it will come to the United States. And the old rule of thumb in counterterrorism used to be that when it happened in Europe, you looked at a 4 to 5 year timeline before it happened in North America. But if you just look at what we saw in Ottawa, Canada, at the end of last year, what you know now is that this is a really compressed timeline. And officials that I deal with believe it's a compressed timeline simply because of the use of social media and the web. It's kind of like pouring an accelerant on this fire of radicalization.
Yep, it feels exactly that way. Catherine, it's great to talk to you. Thank you.